Hi there, my beautiful subscribers. Welcome to our YouTube channel. This is Tina from Tinaheals.com. And this video is about the astrology of someone who is showing up to be a true leader in the Age of Aquarius, who intends to take us to Mars, and his name is Elon Musk. So I'm sure all of you know who he is, SpaceX, Tesla, you know who Elon Musk is. But do you really know who he is? Because he has a very, very special purpose in the Age of Aquarius, which is going to be sort of, kicked into high gear as Jupiter meets Saturn in 0 degrees of Aquarius. Why? Because Jupiter and Saturn both feature as two very important luminaries in Elon's natal chart. Okay, and I think that he is truly a great leader as he is ready to take us forth into the Age of Aquarius. He does have a huge heart, and if you listen to this very interesting interview with Joe Rogan, at the very last quarter, Elon Musk says very clearly that no matter how corny it sounds, it all boils down to love. So spoken and iterated just like the Cancer sun that he is, very, very compassionate, and he truly does want to help. So in a sense, he has figured out his true purpose, but have you? If you haven't, book a session with me and you will get a gradual unfoldment of your true destiny. Okay? Now, like I said, that Elon, your basic karma here is to take us. We are at the threshold of the Age of Aquarius. Okay, I'm going to make a video detailing all that. But let's cut to the chase. This is a longer video. There'll be a shorter video where I will be, making a shorter version of this. So if you are quick to just, if you're not so keen to follow the whole part, then come back for the smaller video. So Elon, essentially his true mission in the Age of Aquarius is to teach us about solitude and about coexistence. Solitude being Saturn, coexistence being Jupiter. Okay, he's also here to solve the problem, okay, between the right relationship of an individual to the society. Okay, so what is the importance of being an individual, and how do you relate as an individual to society at large? Okay, this is what he is here to teach us. The collective and the individual, the friction that is continuously going on. And Age of Aquarius is essentially about us mastering our individuality so we may better contribute to an upcoming era of great change. It could be dystopian, okay, as many people have pointed out, with AI gaining such prominence. It could be dystopian. Okay, we've seen enough of Matrix and enough of all those, the Matrix trilogy and many films like that. Recently I saw I Am Mother, on Netflix, and that was a very interesting way that humans tend to look at robots, okay, tend to look at AI. But the AI revolution is here, whether you want to accept it or not. Technocracy is here when technology is making a great impact on our daily lives, okay. So this collective, the right relationship between the collective and the individual, is essentially his Jupiter, that is Mars ruled, okay, and Mars is in Aquarius. Now the esoteric soul ruler of Aquarius is Jupiter, so there's a very interesting mutual reception happening there. I'll get into it. Now he's here to illuminate space, literally. Jupiter's expanding space, okay, and his Mars is in Aquarius, which is again soul ruler is Jupiter. So and his Jupiter is in Mars rules Scorpio, okay, very interesting, at the very end of Scorpio. Okay, so he's here to illuminate space, right? Take us to Mars and other planetary bodies. And he's here to teach us about the coexistence and solitude. And make us realize that space is full of magnetic energy, raw, vibrating, pulsating, full of grace and love. So, he is here, and he's here to teach us this message of love. And I'm not saying all is hunky dory and he's just another Jesus Christ and he's ready to go for the crucifixion. No. But he does have that very, very profound and soft signature in his natal chart. So he's got his sun. Since we are so obsessed with sun sign astrology, let's start off with the sun. We don't have an exact birth time for him. He's born in South Africa and he had home birth, so there's not an exact birth time, so we cannot get to his ascendant. Now guessing his rising sign is another video. I'm not going to get to that, but his sun is in the first decan of Cancer. Okay, so Cancer is a cardinal water sign, the first water sign, which is about emotions. Okay, and it is ruled by the moon. So sun, if you really look at classical astrology, sun does not do terribly well in a nocturnal watery sign like Cancer that is ruled by the moon. As I said, the sun is Pingala Nari, the moon is the Ida Nari. So they are the archetypal male, female. The sun has his light and the moon reflects his light. Okay. So and who is the domicile ruler of his sun? The moon. So because this is in the first decan of Cancer, his triplicity ruler is also the moon. Okay, and that moon is in Virgo at about 10:29, so let's round that off to about 11. Now 11 degrees of the Virgo Pisces polarity, they are mutable signs, Virgo and Pisces. Virgo is mutable earth ruled by Mercury. Pisces is mutable water ruled by Jupiter. Okay, so 11 degrees of both these mutable signs are known to be the astrologer's degree. Yours truly has your ascendant on Virgo and the moon at 11 degrees of Pisces. So Elon, you have your moon, okay, which is very, very important, the moon sign. And you have that in the tropical sign of Virgo at about 11 degrees, which is known as the astrologer's degree. Well, Liz Green, who, sort of popularized astrology with her sun sign book, she has her sun on this very degree, 11 degrees of Virgo. So Elon, you are greatly connected to astrology, whether you need an astrologer or you literally want to go to the planets to discover more about them. But the study of planets comes naturally to you. Okay, you've taken it literally, so you want to get there. Elon Musk, you have your moon on the astrologer's degree, makes you very, very connected to astrology. Now that moon, okay, now let's get to the sun and the moon. Sun breakup first. I was again deviating. Sun is in Cancer. So moon triplicity ruler is the moon, domicile triplicity. With the exaltation ruler is Jupiter, who's playing a very, very important role in Elon Musk's chart. Okay, and Mars, if you look at Mars, where he's trying to take us, is in fall in Cancer, because Mars is exalted in Capricorn. So Mars is in fall in Cancer. So we got to, realize why a lot of Elon's ideas get foiled. Why a lot of things he wants to do, they go off on a wrong start, because this Mars being in this, the sun being in this position where Mars is in fall. Mars is our action. Okay. So, his sun is ruled by the moon. And first term of Mars, I told you there are 50 terms in astrology. So the first term of Cancer is where his sun is, and the first term is ruled by Mars. Now, according to balance, this is a very powerful zone. Mars ruled term of Cancer, okay? So, and Mars also, of course, has that essential dignity in the night charts of water signs. If you're water dominant, Mars functions better in the night, you know. So, hurtling thunderbolts moves in different directions. So, we've seen that with Elon's ideas. You know, they often times he switches from one to the other because he's constantly innovating. Cancer is a water sign, cardinal water sign, the water sign that, you know, wants to do things, wants to create things. So we see that very, very distinctly in Elon Musk's character. Now, so this uneven, contradictory in his wishes is his sun, and the sun is why we incarnate in the world. Okay, manic, prolific, for destructive in the end base. So, you know, there's a lot that Elon needs to do. If you break it down into term, we see that a term is ruled by Mars. His sun in the first term of Cancer is ruled by Mars. Okay, so we see Moon and Mars playing a very important role in his life. Now, the moon happens to be in 11 degrees of Virgo. I said we're rounding it off. It's at 10:29. Domicile ruler is Mercury. We know that because Virgo is ruled by Mercury. It's mutable earth. And Decan 2 is ruled by Saturn. Okay, because after Virgo comes Capricorn. So Saturn, the second decan. And the term that his moon is in is term 2 of Virgo. Okay, and term 2 is ruled by Venus, right? And this is censored, wronging their marriage and falling in difficulty. We've seen Elon, you know, shifting and fluxing between very many relationships. I read one of his interviews in Business Insider, and he was like, you know, I hate being alone. I hate being alone in the house when there's no one to, you know, share my life with. I don't want to go back home to that. So this, here we see the softness of the Cancer sun wanting to be with someone in the security blanket of a relationship, and they find it distinctly hard. Now this term 2, which is ruled by Venus, where his moon is, so we see this very Venusian influence coming in, okay? They lucky in theatrical matters. So Elon is quite, you know, theatrical when he speaks. So if you watch his TED Talks, he's quite theatrical. And they are most unnatural in their passions when Saturn is in aspect. Okay, aspects is another video which I'll get into. When Merc is in aspect, they can commit adultery. So Elon will possibly, you know, shift and flux. He's looking for that perfect partner, but that doesn't exist, right? And he does have this rosy colored glasses when it comes to expectations from a partner. We see that playing out with Cancer sun, especially also Virgo moons to a certain degree. Okay, now we know that in traditional astrology the sun is not dignified in Cancer, moon is not dignified in Virgo, but there's more to the moon in Virgo because the moon is the sole ruler of Virgo, which we'll get to in a short while. Okay, so that was the sun and the moon breakup. Now we get to the moon is in Mercury, it's ruled by Mercury, right? And that Mercury is in Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. So there's a beautiful mutual reception happening between the moon and Mercury. So emotions and communication fluidity is something that comes. Mercury is how we communicate, the thought, the cogitation process in our mind. Okay, how we infer, how we you know, deduce, all of this is Mercury. So there's a profound emotional connection to his logic and his analysis because of this beautiful mutual reception happening. Mercury is at 1427, by the way. And they say that when in Ptolemaic aspects, okay, the two celestials fall in love. Okay, so if there's a mutual reception, yes, the planets are sharing a lot of energy. But if a Ptolemaic aspect is formed, then these two celestial bodies fall in love. And there is a Ptolemaic aspect that has been formed. His Moon and Mercury are in sextile. Okay, and this sextile is an applying aspect. I've told you about applying aspects and separating aspects. So it is a Ptolemaic aspect that has been formed by these two celestials in mutual reception. So there is beautiful love that is being shared with his Moon and Mercury. So he's possibly very close to his mom as well, because mom's a profound influence in his life. Women are very important to him. So we're rounding off Mercury to about 15 degrees of Cancer, because it's 1427, so we rounded off to 15. Decan 2 of Cancer, ruled by Mars via triplicity. So his Mercury is very Martian. We see this Mars signature penetrating again and again. Okay, third term of Cancer, Mercury ruled again. So his Mercury is being influenced by Mercury as well as the Moon by domicile, of course, and by Mars through term by triplicity. And the third term is again ruled by Mercury. So this is precise, a robber. Yes, some of the significations of Mercury are thieves and robbers. A leader in public matters, a tax gatherer, in the public eye, which Elon is very, very much in the public eye. Wealth producing. So his Mercury is very wealth producing, the way he communicates. Mercury is also stocks and shares, okay. Venus is in Gemini, 1937, so we rounded off to 20 Gemini, ruled by Mercury again. See how mercurial he is. Decan 3 of Gemini, which is ruled by Saturn. So now, bam, there's a beautiful Saturnine influence on his Venus, and his Saturn's in Gemini. Okay, so again, mercurial, very mercurial. Venus is in Gemini, Saturn's in Gemini. Venus traditionally does not do well in Gemini, but in esoteric astrology, Venus is the sole ruler of Gemini. We'll get to that. This is the fourth term. Okay, fourth term of Gemini, that's again ruled by Mars. So this Venus is feeding off of this influence of Mercury, Saturn and Mars, two malefics classically. Relationships are not going to be easy. Much burdened with no brothers. This is the fourth term significations. Having few children, though he has many children, okay. A wanderer, truly a space wanderer, with good income. Destructive, bloody inquisitive, very, very inquisitive person. Elon Musk is a very, very inquisitive person. Now his Mars is in Aquarius. Mars, where he wants to take us, is in Aquarius. So he's truly bringing forth the energy of Aquarius, okay? It's at 2056, so we rounded off to 21, okay? Domicile ruler is Saturn, because I take traditional rulers. Decan 3 is ruled by Venus through triplicity, and the fourth term is ruled by Mars. So by term is Mars is ruled by Mars, and again has a Saturnine signature as well as a Venusian signature, okay. So then the fourth term is diseased, particularly in the internal organs, troubled by lawsuits, which we've seen Elon frequently gets lawsuits and problems. Wicked, intractable, incapable men of this term, okay, and ready to attempt evil deeds. This is a signification. So every energy is dualistic. I mean, just because you know your term has some difficult significations doesn't make you that. You know, it's something that comes with energy. It's all dualistic, okay. So there are three beautiful esoteric rulerships. We've done Hellenistic astrology. Now we move to esoteric astrology. So we've got Jupiter in Scorpio, which is again not a profoundly powerful position for Jupiter, because Jupiter is a diurnal planet. Scorpio is Mars ruled nocturnal, so you know it's not a place for Jupiter, and it's at 28 degrees of Scorpio. Domicile ruler of Jupiter is Mars, And decan 3 of Scorpio is ruled by Venus, okay? And there he has no exalted planets, Elon Musk, okay? Two retrograde planets, Jupiter and Neptune. Again, Jupiter playing a very important role. Three esoteric rulerships, okay? Venus in Gemini, Moon in Virgo, and of course Uranus in Libra. So three soul rulerships. This is very profound, okay? No planets ruling domiciles, and one mutual reception, and one beautiful mixed mutual reception between Jupiter and Mars. Jupiter is in Mars' home, but Mars is in the soul home of Jupiter, which is Aquarius. So there's this beautiful mixed mutual reception that's happening between his Jupiter and Mars. Okay, now let's look at soul rulerships. His sun is in Cancer, soul ruler is Neptune. His moon is in Virgo, soul ruler is Moon. Bam! There you have one soul rulership. Mercury is in Cancer, again soul ruler is Neptune. Makes him very dreamy, very imaginative, okay, very connected to psychic stuff, very connected to spiritual awareness in a way, okay? Venus is again an esoteric rulership in Gemini. Mars is ruled by Jupiter in Aquarius, esoteric ruler. Jupiter is in Scorpio, ruled by Mars. Mars by himself is also the sole ruler of Scorpio and the traditional ruler. Saturn is in Gemini, ruled by Venus. Neptune is in Sagittarius, ruled by the Earth. So that's quite profound. He's very, very connected to the Earth because his sun, soul ruler, is Neptune, and Neptune's soul ruler is the Earth. He will always have a very profound spiritual connection to Gaia, and he knows that. Uranus is in Libra, soul rulership again. Pluto is in Virgo, ruled by the Moon. Okay, so this is a very, very interesting person, very intuitive, very prophetic. Now, Venus in Gemini natives in esoteric astrology, they hate to be touched. This is something I've observed time and again with Venus in Gemini natives, okay? And although, you know, they may hate physical touch, but Venus in Gemini bestows love for the path of discipleship. Again, a very spiritual moment. The moon is a veil. Always remember that. It veils the planet, okay? And the moon in Virgo, ultimately the soul inclination is to serve. So Elon wants to serve God and good. Purity of instinct and intellect comes with the moon in Virgo. And this energy is as if one is mentally pregnant, okay? Full of thought forms. With meditation he can bring to life a thought form. He's that powerful if he works with that. Ever increasing power for thought is what the moon gives to a Virgo. Moon in Virgo gives to an individual. Incessant cogitation, ever increasing power for thought, and ultimately this leads to Christ consciousness or Krishna consciousness. Uranus in Libra has progress in mind. Ultimately, that is what Uranus wants to bring to Venus rule Libra, which is about stagnation at times, because they set up these perfect little symmetrical rules that work for them, and Uranus is here to teach them no. Okay, soul revolution. So North Node is in Aquarius and South Node is in Leo, okay? And there is a conflict between self-interest and group consciousness with the Rahu and the Ketu in these positions. Also conflict between platonic love and erotic sensual love, okay? So I think what Elon is doing is he is developing the spirit of community, and he's promoting all things Aquarius because of this North Node, Rahu being in Aquarius. And there is also a deep conflict that Elon has between self-denial and self-gratification. And also the fact that he wants to be a loner, and that the fact that he has to be the center of attention in many, many places. And that is a conflict that's incessantly happening. Also, Black Moon Lilith is in Libra. And with Black Moon Lilith in Libra, I've seen that natives oftentimes have aspirations that cannot be fulfilled. Okay, fanatical need for mental balance. Okay, excellent counselors, communicators, But there's a tendency to fanaticism and becoming a false messiah. Again, everything is about balance. Uranus will teach him that, being the sole ruler of Libra, you know. Inflammation of bladder, kidneys, and urethra is possible. Lilith is conjunct with Uranus. So Lilith is, you know, a fascination, unbridled feminine sensuality, and Uranus is the spiritual awakener. So this is although they're 6 degrees apart, but I think this is a profound connection. Uranus being in soul rulership over there. Dominant element is water and air. There's nothing in fire, and the moon is in earth. So that makes him cold, wet and moist, phlegmatic because of all this water, hot, wet and moist, sanguine because of all this air, okay? Now his moon is cold, dry and melancholic. If you look, you'll see oftentimes he has a melancholic disposition and countenance. A lot of Virgo people tend to have that. Very thorough man. 3 main planets to look at, okay, in traditional Hellenistic astrology is Mercury, Jupiter and Saturn. Very profoundly connecting things in his natal chart, okay, working towards uplifting him. Fixed stars. His sun is conjunct the fixed star Mirzam. Mirzam is 711 of Cancer. Very good qualities Mirzam gives. Charitable, faithful, but dangerous passions. So we see again that dangerous passions. Mirzam is oftentimes known as the roarer, okay, announcing the rising of Sirius. And also the announcer with the fixed star Gomesha, right? And they are both fortunate of the nature of Venus. Moon in Virgo is conjunct the fixed star Zosma. Okay, Zosma is at about, the moon is at 11 degrees of Virgo, so Zosma is exactly conjunct. Very fortunate. Nature of Venus and Saturn. Keen intellect, but depression. Fearful, unhappy, feels restricted. Loss in childhood. Egotism and prophetic abilities. Zosma gives prophetic abilities. I know my rising is conjunct Zosma. Okay, so that's very, very interesting. Mercury is at 15 degrees of Cancer and conjunct Canopus. Canopus is a ship of the desert. Okay, and it's a very fortunate fixed star of the nature of Saturn and Jupiter. And he's known as Rishi Agastya in Vedic astrology. Significations, journeys, voyages, creativity, scandal, violence, great glory, fame, wealth, changes evil to good. So this is, we see how he's, you know, working with the energy, balancing it with the fixed stars that have been fortunate so far. Although Venus happens to be in 20 degrees of Gemini, conjunct Bellatrix, okay, Orion's left shoulder. Bellatrix is a very unfortunate fixed star of the nature of Mercury and Mars. Loquaciousness, accidents, sudden dishonor. So we see him fluctuating. You know, suddenly Elon Musk has lost a lot of money. Suddenly Elon Musk is, you know, got this problem at a display. His car broke down, or you know, when that particular thing he was showing, it all came down incorrectly. So stuff like that. Okay, sudden dishonor in events, in particular big times. Mars 21 of Aquarius. Castor is a fixed star, unfortunate, Saturn and Jupiter. Destructiveness, uncontrollable temper. He does have a temper, Elon Musk. Malevolence. And is also conjunct fixed star Nishira, fortunate fixed star, thankfully. Writing, government, religion, and overcomes evil of the nature of Saturn and Jupiter. Okay, so that was his breakup of all the fixed stars. The manzil of the moon is the 11th Arabic manzil, Al-Zubra. Looking at it from sidereal Leo, because his moon is in sidereal Leo. Significations of Al-Zubra, profit and gain, marriage, travel, promotion, making requests to persons in power and authority, gardening, cutting hair, buildings, actions that require courage. You require a lot of courage to work with Tesla and SpaceX and all of that. So not good for the health of women. So when he was born, his mom may have suffered. Okay. Power, as essence of this manzil, power, gain, respect, gives persons under its influence idealism or a very refined taste in things, but indicates vacillating fortune. So up and down, up and down, up and down. This is something we see. Now moving on to his Vedic breakdown. His nakshatra is Leo of his moon. Okay, very Rajasic temperament. The Hindu moon mansion, Purva Falguni. The constellation is Magha, but the moon mansion is Purva Falguni, and it's his Rashi. And Purva Falguni is the lucky one. Okay, ruled by Venus. Very positive, Purva Falguni. Symbolizes creation as well as destruction. So obviously to create something, you've got to destroy the old ways, and this is something we see with someone like Elon Musk coming out and destroying the way we do all things. He doesn't want the Mars colonies to follow the rules of the earth because he thinks the rules of the earth are redundant. Okay, so Manushya Gana, so it's a Manushya Gana, there are many Ganas, Rakshas Gan, Dev Gan, this is Manushya Gan. So very concerned with humanity. Okay, like bestial, and I explained to you in Hellenistic astrology also you have the same thing. Body part is right hand, sex organs and lips. So there's something very attractive about Elon Musk's lips that his lovers would probably know, okay? And his moon is in Pada 2 of this Purva Falguni. Now there are 4 Padas. Now the Padas refer to Artha, Kama, Dharma, Moksha. Okay, so Pada 2 is Artha, Dharma. So it's about acquiring power. Okay, Pada 2. 70 degrees of Leo, sidereal Leo, okay? And this is the Virgo Navamsa, ruled by Mercury. This is the most sober Navamsa in sidereal Leo in Vedic astrology, okay? Very hardworking. The other Padas are not so hardworking, okay? Other Navamsas. And because they're mostly lazy and pompous. But Virgo Navamsa of Leo is very hardworking. Okay, trade, enterprise, and well-placed Mercury gives superb trading sense and solid gains through trade. He does have a very well-placed Mercury in the Vedic system. He has his Mercury in Gemini in rulership. Okay, suggestion to ground that energy, Elon Musk. Okay, by doing Shiv Lingam, Abhishekam, and Puja. Purva Falguni is the tree of life. It is actually literally the fruit of the tree. And Elon Musk is known to be a Kabbalist who studies the tree of life. So, there's a huge connection to that. Mercury rulership, Gemini, 21 degrees. Punarvasu Nakshatra. Punarvasu Pada 1, Artha. So his Mercury is geared towards getting money. Therefore, digital currency, PayPal, all of that happened. Punarvasu Nakshatra, birth nakshatra of Lord Ram as well. So he has that sacred nakshatra signature with his Mercury, which is communication. Okay, Aries Navamsa though, so it's Mars ruled. Movable, adventurous, pioneering. Okay, pioneering strange things. We see that SpaceX and all of that, Tesla electronic car, strange things. The thing with Punarvasu is if you keep trying, okay, whatever it is, your Mercury is in Punarvasu, if you keep trying things with communication, Mercury rule things, Elon Musk will succeed because that is Punarvasu. You keep trying, even if you confront failure many times, you succeed in the end. Okay? Success is guaranteed if they persevere, and Jupiter is the ruler of this nakshatra. Again, Jupiter playing such an important role even in the Vedic chart. Sun is in 2036 of Gemini, Ardra nakshatra, okay? Ardra Pada 2, again geared towards work in the physical world, okay? Ardra is known as the teardrop, okay? And the Lord is Rahu. Very interesting because Rahu, he is going through a Rahu Mahadasha. And his ruling deity is Shiva. So you see how Shiva's energy is, so obvious in his natal chart. He is a sort of Shiva, sounding his Damru and bringing in a Pralaya because he wants to start a new Manvantara. Okay? Everyone's scared of Shiva's Rudra and Ardra because your Rudra dances the Tandav. But there are two types of Tandav, Rodra Tandav and Anandya Tandav. So Elon Musk is a dancer, either he gets angry and he does the Rudra Tandav to destroy all, or he does the Anand Tandav to create, because dance is symbolic of creation as well as destruction. Rahu is the Lord, as I said, so Rahu subversive, very, very interesting. And ruling deity Shiva. Mahadasha is Rahu that he's going through. December 11, 2008 it started. Will end 2026, December 11. Venus Antardasha is happening. Started June 27, 2020. Will end 2023. 3 years of Venus Antardasha. Rahu rules Ardra. His son is in Ardra, and he is in Rahu Mahadasha. So he needs to do Rahu Bij and propitiate the North Node, because his North Node is also in tropical Aquarius, where he's taking us to Mars, and his Mars is also in Aquarius. Shiva is Rudra, rules Ardra. So I said Rodra Tandav. He could do Rodra Tandav to destroy as well. His Venus is in Taurus, okay, Taurus Nakshatra Mrigashira, okay, which is ruled by Mars, Pada 1. Soma or Moon is the deity here. So again, a profound connection with the Moon, right? Leo Navamsa ruled by the Sun. Very fixed Pada, okay, and expresses through creativity and artistry. Mars, Pada 2 of Dhanishta, which is Capricorn. 28 of Capricorn actually, which is the Hellenistic degree of Mars exaltation. Very interesting. Mars is the ruling lord and Vasu is the deity, and this is the 23rd nakshatra. 23 is the royal number and is associated to the lion. And lion again being having that connection with Parvati and Sati and Shiva. So it's very beautiful. Shiva as Nataraj. So will Elon Musk dance the Anand Tandav and create, or will he become a Rodra Tandav dancer and destroy? I say that, we need to support him because his heart is in the right place. He's trying to do whatever he thinks is best. But, it's about balance, it's about grounding. Shiv Puja is going to help him ground the Sun and Ardra energy, ground his Mars and Dhanishta energy, because Dhanishta is also ruled by Shiva, Rodra, okay? Dhanishta is ruled by Nataraj. So again, the dance. So that was the astrology of Elon Musk, encompassing 3 systems: Hellenistic, Esoteric Astrology and Vedic Astrology. If you show interest in this, I am going to get to his aspects and Sabian symbols and Chandra symbols and so much more. Please leave me a comment, a like, subscribe and share. And if you know Elon Musk, send this video to him. Of course, if you like it. And I hope that Elon Musk does get to see this video. It's going to be very, very interesting because right now he needs to ground that energy. Thank you so much and speak soon. Bye.